Have you ever wondered how far nature's creativity can go? In the oceans and rivers of the world, there are creatures so fascinating they seem to come straight out of a science fiction story. Some are as colorful as works of art, others are mysterious and frightening, challenging everything we think we know about the animal kingdom. Hello, restless minds. I'm Code, and this is Discover It, where curiosity has no limits. Some of these creatures are so astonishing that they even leave scientists perplexed. But can you imagine fish that walk, have hair, or even superhero-worthy abilities? Get ready to meet 15 fish you won't believe actually exist. After all, how far can reality go to surprise us? Number 15, koi fish. The koi fish, or simply koi, is much more than just an ornamental fish that beautifies ponds and gardens around the world. The koi fish, it's so much more than just a pretty little fish to decorate ponds. It's like the rock star of the aquatic world. Let's dive into this story full of colors, myths, and of course, a touch of extravagance. It is a true aquatic jewel with a rich history and a deep symbolism in various cultures, especially in Japan and China. These creatures are known for their vibrant colors and unique patterns, making each koi as individual as a fingerprint. But is this fish just a matter of aesthetics? The origin of koi dates back centuries when they were bred from the common carp. Through generations of selective breeding, breeders transformed what was once an ordinary fish into something extraordinary. Today, there are dozens of koi varieties with color combinations that include red, white, gold, black, and even metallic tones that seem to shine under the sunlight. Beyond their beauty, koi are surrounded by legends and symbolism. In Japan, they represent strength, perseverance, and overcoming obstacles. One of the most famous stories is the koi and the waterfall, in which a koi swims against a powerful current to reach the top of a waterfall, being transformed into a dragon as a reward. It's inspiring to imagine that something so small could symbolize such great determination, don't you think? These fish also possess a surprising longevity. Under ideal conditions, they can live from 20 to 50 years, and there are reports of koi living over 200 years. A famous example is a koi named Hanako, which supposedly lived 226 years, becoming a kind of aquatic patriarch and a symbol of immortality. Another fascinating curiosity is the financial value of some specimens. Certain high-lineage koi can be sold for exorbitant amounts, reaching over $1 million. This leads breeders and collectors worldwide to invest heavily in genetics and specialized care. After all, could a koi be considered a living work of art? But what makes koi so special is the emotional bond they form with their owners. These fish recognize who feeds them, can be trained to eat from one's hand, and even display a kind of personality. They are more than mere pond dwellers. They are companions that carry stories, traditions, and an unrivaled beauty. Number 14, hairy frogfish. The hairy frogfish is one of the most intriguing and unusual creatures in the underwater world. With its stout body covered by hair-like appendages, it looks more like a fantasy film character than a real fish. But don't be fooled by its peculiar appearance. This small predator is a true master of ambush. This fish belongs to the frogfish family, known for their ability to perfectly blend in with their surroundings. The hairs of the hairy frogfish are actually skin extensions that help it blend into the ocean floor, making it virtually invisible to both predators and prey. It can even change color over time to better adapt to its habitat. Incredible, isn't it? Its hunting strategy is fascinating. Instead of actively chasing its prey, the hairy frogfish uses a kind of live lure, a worm-like appendage that dangles in front of its mouth. When an unsuspecting fish approaches, the frogfish strikes in the blink of an eye, opening its mouth so quickly that it creates a vacuum, sucking in its prey before it even realizes the danger. Imagine being swallowed by an invisible trap. Besides its camouflage and hunting techniques, another curious aspect of the hairy frogfish is its way of moving around. Unlike other fish, it doesn't swim gracefully. Instead, It walks along the sea floor using its modified fins, which function almost like feet. This gives it an even more peculiar appearance and reinforces the idea that it's a creature out of the ordinary. But where can we find this master of camouflage? The hairy frogfish inhabits the Indian and Pacific Oceans, mainly in regions rich in corals and sponges, where its camouflage is most effective. It lives in shallow waters, meaning attentive divers might be lucky enough to spot one. However, because it's so well camouflaged, spotting it is almost like finding a needle in a haystack. And why would nature create such a peculiar fish? Could it be a response to the competition for survival in densely populated marine environments? Or perhaps proof that, in the natural world, being strange is often an advantage? Number 13, fangtooth fish. In the dark depths of the ocean, where sunlight never reaches, dwells the mysterious fangtooth fish. This fish is the perfect portrait of a deep-sea creature, frightening, extremely adapted, and absolutely fascinating. Despite its relatively small size, it usually measures between 15 and 17 centimeters. The fangtooth makes up for its stature with disproportionately large teeth and a nightmare-inducing appearance. Its teeth are so large that, when not feeding, it must fold them into cavities in its head to avoid piercing its own brain. That's right, its anatomy is adapted to handle a weapon, so effective it could be a problem for the fish itself. Imagine having to adapt your entire body to such a unique and dangerous feature. Another striking characteristic of the fangtooth is its dark, rough skin, which helps it camouflage in the gloomy environment of the deep ocean. Its small fins aren't made for swimming long distances, as it prefers to wait patiently for prey to pass by, attacking with lethal speed. Have you ever wondered how deep-sea creatures manage to survive in such a hostile environment? The extreme conditions in which the fangtooth lives explain much about its appearance and behavior. It inhabits depths ranging from 200 to 5,000 meters, where pressure is crushing, temperatures are icy, and food is scarce. In those depths, it feeds on smaller fish and crustaceans, striking with its deadly teeth whenever an opportunity arises. But how does it find food in such a desolate place? Like many deep-sea dwellers, the fangtooth has extremely sensitive vision and an acute sense of smell, helping it detect even the slightest signs of life around it. Moreover, it benefits from its ability to traverse great depths, rising at night to areas richer in prey and returning to the depths during the day. Despite its terrifying appearance, the fangtooth is completely harmless to humans. In fact, it's yet more proof of how nature shapes creatures according to the needs of their environment. Have you ever wondered what else could be hidden in the still unexplored depths of our planet? Number 12, white margin stargazer fish. Get ready to meet the white margin stargazer, a fish that combines a sea monster look with almost supernatural abilities. This is the fish that literally stares you down. With eyes on top of its head, it lies in wait, ready to strike at the perfect moment. Creepy, right? With eyes that literally gaze at the stars, hence its name, this predator lives buried on the ocean floor, patiently waiting for the perfect moment to attack. But is its peculiar appearance enough to make it so fascinating? The stargazer has eyes positioned on top of its head, allowing it to remain completely buried in the sand, with only its eyes and mouth visible. This strategic position makes it a master of disguise, practically invisible to unwary prey swimming above. Its patience is impressive. It can wait hours or even days for the right moment to strike. Can you imagine such dedication? In addition to its camouflage ability, the white margin stargazer has a hunting technique as efficient as it is lethal. When prey swims nearby, it launches a lightning attack, exploding out of the sand with impressive speed. The victim rarely has time to react. This precision and quickness make it one of the most effective hunters in the marine realm. But what makes this fish even more extraordinary is its ability to generate electric shocks. Yes, it's equipped with electric organs that can release discharges to ward off predators or immobilize prey. Very few fish in the world possess this skill, making the stargazer a true rarity. Can you imagine encountering something like this while diving? Curiously, the stargazer is also known for its frightening appearance. Its wide mouth and sharp teeth contribute to a look many find disturbing. In some cultures, it's even considered a sign of bad omen. However, for biologists and divers, it's a marvel of evolutionary adaptation, showing how nature can be creative and sometimes terrifying. The white-margin stargazer mainly inhabits the Indian and Pacific Oceans, living in shallow or moderately deep waters. Despite its unusual appearance and incredible abilities, it isn't aggressive toward humans unless disturbed. Still, running into one while diving would be something you'd never forget, don't you think? Number 11. Yellow-headed jawfish. The yellow-headed jawfish is a small tropical fish that proves size doesn't matter. Despite its delicate appearance, with a bright yellow head and slender body, it has fascinating behaviors that make it one of the most interesting reef dwellers. Want to know why it's so special? These fish live in small burrows in the sandy bottoms of reefs, which they dig themselves with their mouths, using their powerful jaws. Hence the name jawfish. They remove pieces of gravel and shells to create a safe refuge. It's impressive to see how such a small fish can be so resourceful. Can you imagine having to build your home by carrying each stone in your mouth? But what truly sets the yellow-headed jawfish apart is its parental behavior. After mating, the male carries the fertilized eggs in its mouth, protecting them from predators and ensuring they have enough oxygen until they're ready to hatch. This is known as mouth brooding, a rare and fascinating strategy in the animal kingdom. Can you imagine such a dedicated father? While caring for the eggs, the jawfish almost doesn't eat, devoting itself entirely to the safety of its future offspring. It stays close to its burrow, only venturing out when necessary, always alert to any threat. This level of paternal protection is a rarity in the fish world, where many species leave their eggs to chance. Moreover, these fish exhibit a curious behavior of hovering vertically above their burrows, watching the environment with bright, attentive eyes. This posture gives the impression that they are constantly on guard, like guardians of their small underwater fortresses. Isn't it intriguing how they balance fragility with constant vigilance? Yellow-headed jawfish are mainly found in the tropical waters of the Western Atlantic and the Caribbean, where they inhabit shallow, protected reefs. Although they are small and discreet, their unique behavior and paternal devotion make them one of the most fascinating gems of tropical seas. Perhaps that's why spotting them is such a privilege for those lucky enough to dive in these waters. Number 10. Yellow boxfish. The yellow boxfish looks like it came from a children's story. With its cubic-shaped body and bright yellow coloration, dotted with black spots, it's one of the most adorable creatures in the oceans. But as you'll see, behind its cute, harmless appearance lie secrets that make this fish far more interesting than it first appears. The body of the yellow boxfish is a true feat of natural engineering. It has a rigid hexagonal bone structure, giving it its distinct shape. This design not only protects the fish from predators, but also helps with stability when swimming. Even so, its unusual form makes it a relatively slow and clumsy swimmer. How does it survive being so vulnerable? The answer lies in its chemical defense. When threatened, the yellow boxfish releases a powerful toxin called ostracetoxin, which disperses into the surrounding water. This substance can be lethal to other nearby fish, including predators. Interestingly, even aquarium enthusiasts must be cautious when keeping these fish, as their toxin can contaminate an entire tank. Isn't that a surprising defense? Another fascinating aspect of the yellow boxfish is how it navigates its environment. Despite its clumsy appearance, it's incredibly agile in short maneuvers. Its side fins act like small propellers, allowing it to change direction with impressive precision. This ability is essential in coral reefs, where space is tight and dangers lurk around every corner. Moreover, its vibrant coloration isn't just for show. It serves as a visual warning to predators, indicating that it's toxic. This kind of signaling, known as aposematism, is common among poisonous animals and is highly effective. Who would have guessed that such a small fish could use psychology as a survival weapon? The yellow boxfish is found in tropical waters, mainly in the Indo-Pacific, inhabiting coral reefs and shallow lagoons. Although widely admired for its appearance, it's also an example of how nature combines beauty with functionality. After all, do predators that avoid this fish know it's poisonous, or do they just instinctively recognize its visual message? Number 9. Asian sheephead wrasse. The Asian sheephead wrasse looks like it was sculpted by a surrealist artist. This fish always seems to have a face that's wondering, what's going on here? But behind that look, it's a real mutant, with its bony protrusion on the forehead and a robust jaw, giving it an almost human expression. It's undoubtedly one of the ocean's most eccentric fish. Yet its peculiar appearance is only the beginning of a story full of curiosities. This fish can reach impressive sizes, growing over a meter in length and weighing up to 15 kilos. It's frequently found in the temperate waters of the northwestern Pacific, mainly around Japan, China, and Korea. Despite its size, it's a gentle creature, spending most of its time exploring reefs and looking for food among the corals. One of the most fascinating characteristics of the Asian sheephead wrasse is its ability to change sex. Like many species of wrasses, they start life as females and, in response to environmental or social conditions, can transform into males. This change involves complete physical and behavioral alterations. Can you imagine having such an ability in the human world? Their social behavior is also intriguing. Dominant males usually have large territories where they attract several females to form a small social group. During the breeding season, the male displays quite elaborate courtship behavior involving spiral swimming and graceful movements, which contrast with its robust appearance. It's almost like an underwater dance to woo a partner. Besides its biological curiosities, the Asian sheephead wrasse also plays an important role in the reef ecosystem. It feeds on mollusks, crustaceans, and other invertebrates, helping control these populations and maintain ecological balance. But does it realize its own contribution to the ocean's equilibrium? Unfortunately, this species faces growing threats from overfishing and marine habitat destruction. In some areas, it's considered a delicacy, which increases its exploitation. Protecting these unique creatures is essential to ensure future generations can admire not only their exotic appearance, but also their incredible life story and ecological role. Number 8. Blobfish. Few animals have a reputation for being ugly like the blobfish, but its gelatinous, wrinkled appearance hides an incredible story of adaptation. Poor blobfish. Everyone comments on how it looks out of water, but down at home, in the depths of the sea, it's super comfortable and compact. People only judge it because it's out of context. This deep-sea fish is often portrayed as a caricature, but did you know its appearance is a direct result of the extreme conditions in which it lives? The blobfish inhabits depths of up to 1,200 meters, mainly in the Pacific Ocean near Australia and New Zealand. At these depths, pressure is dozens of times greater than at the surface, and few animals can survive. The blobfish's soft, muscle-free body, slightly less dense than water, allows it to float above the seafloor without expending energy. It's an ingenious solution that also explains its flabby appearance. Curiously, the famous melted look of the blobfish is only seen out of water. When removed from its habitat, the lack of pressure causes its soft body to deform, creating that unusual aspect. In its natural environment, it has a more compact, functional appearance. Have you ever thought about what it means to judge a creature outside its natural context? The blobfish is also a patient predator. It mainly feeds on crustaceans, mollusks, and other small organisms that pass by swallowing them passively. Its diet reflects the scarcity of resources in the ocean depths, where each meal can be a matter of survival. Its ability to conserve energy even while hunting is a vital adaptation to such a challenging environment. Unfortunately, the blobfish faces serious threats due to trawling. Although it's not the fisherman's main target, it's often caught accidentally in nets intended for other bottom-dwelling animals. This practice has led to declines in its population, making it a symbol of the need to protect deep-sea marine habitats. Despite its unusual appearance, which has earned the blobfish the title of world's ugliest fish, it's proof of nature's creativity in adapting its inhabitants to the most extreme conditions. If we saw it in its natural habitat, would we see it as a feat of evolutionary engineering rather than just a strange creature? Number 7. Psychedelic frogfish. The psychedelic frogfish is one of the ocean's most amazing creatures, a true masterpiece of evolution. With color patterns resembling psychedelic spirals in shades of pink, orange, and white, it looks like a living painting. Found in waters around Indonesia, it not only enchants with its appearance but also surprises with its unique abilities. This frogfish is a master of camouflage, adapting perfectly to the coral environment it inhabits. Its vibrant patterns mimic the contours of corals and marine sponges, allowing it to disappear into the underwater scenery. But does this camouflage serve only for defense? Not at all. It's also a powerful weapon for hunting unsuspecting prey. Unlike most fish that swim, the psychedelic frogfish moves in a peculiar way. It walks. Using its modified fins, which function like small legs, it moves slowly along the seafloor. This adaptation allows it to explore cracks and crevices in the reefs, areas inaccessible to predators and other fish. Can you imagine literally watching a fish stroll across the ocean floor? What truly sets this fish apart, though, is its behavior while hunting. It's an ambush predator, waiting patiently until prey comes close enough. Then, with an incredibly swift movement, it opens its funnel-shaped mouth and sucks the victim in whole. This attack is so fast, it happens in less than a tenth of a second. Amazing, isn't it? In addition to its hunting skills, the psychedelic frogfish has an even more intriguing characteristic: its ability to walk on vertical surfaces. It uses its fins to grip underwater structures, climbing coral walls in search of shelter or its next meal. It's almost as if it's the rock climber of the reefs. Unfortunately, its beauty and rarity make it a target for collectors and illegal fishing, threatening its survival. Moreover, the destruction of coral reefs puts its natural habitat at risk. But shouldn't preserving these unique creatures be a priority, given how fascinating and indispensable they are to the balance of marine ecosystems? Number 6. The opah. The opah, also known as the moonfish, is a true wonder of the ocean. Endothermic in the fish world, this guy basically has a built-in air conditioner that gives him a total advantage in cold waters. Evolution at its finest. Its rounded shape and metallic coloration in shades of red and orange with white spots make it one of the most impressive creatures in deep waters. But what really sets it apart isn't just its looks. It has a unique feature among fish. The opah is endothermic, meaning it can regulate its own body temperature. This ability is extremely rare in the aquatic realm. While most fish depend on the water conditions to control their temperature, the opah keeps itself warm in cold waters through a specialized network of blood vessels. These vessels, known as the rete mirabile, act as a heat exchange system, allowing it to retain heat generated by muscle movement. This gives it a significant advantage in deep waters, where temperatures can be freezing. But why does the opah need this ability? The capacity to maintain a higher body temperature improves its speed, endurance, and hunting ability in cold waters. It's an agile and efficient predator, feeding on smaller fish, crustaceans, and squid. This adaptation makes it a formidable hunter, able to explore environments where many other fish cannot survive. Can you imagine what it's like to face such an extreme environment and still thrive? Another fascinating curiosity about the opah is its hydrodynamic body. Despite its round shape, it's surprisingly fast, with long and powerful fins providing agility and precision in its movements. This combination of stamina and speed makes it a remarkable swimmer, able to travel great distances in search of food. The opah is found in temperate and tropical waters around the world, typically at depths ranging from 50 to 400 meters. Despite living in remote areas, it's occasionally caught as bycatch in commercial fishing, which can threaten its populations. Is that the price of human curiosity about such unique creatures? In addition to its ecological role as a predator, the opah has drawn scientific interest. Its intriguing endothermy, is an example of how evolution finds creative ways to overcome environmental challenges. And when we observe creatures like the opah, don't we feel that the ocean still holds many mysteries waiting to be uncovered? Number 5, the toothpick fish. Known as the toothpick fish or kangaroo, this small Amazonian fish is surrounded by mysteries and legends that evoke as much fascination as fear. At just a few centimeters long and with an almost translucent body, it's discreet, yet its reputation precedes it. Many stories about the kangaroo involve terrifying bodily invasions, but is reality as alarming as the fiction? The toothpick fish belongs to the catfish family and has a thin, elongated body designed to slip into small spaces. It's a parasite that lives in the gills of other fish where it feeds on its victim's blood. This adaptation makes it incredibly efficient at surviving in the competitive environment of the Amazon rivers. But does it really invade humans, as so many stories suggest? The most famous legend about the kangaroo is its supposed ability to swim into human orifices, mainly the urethra, attracted by urine. This terrifying idea became widely known, but scientific studies indicate that reported cases are extremely rare and often based on misinformation. In fact, the toothpick fish doesn't actively attack humans. Its main concern is finding an aquatic host. Could this legend be an exaggeration of our primal fears? Even so, the kangaroo is a fascinating creature in terms of adaptation. It relies on highly attuned senses to detect the chemical trails left by its prey. Once inside another fish's gills, it uses thin, sharp spines to latch on and feed. This parasitic method is incredibly efficient, but also cruel, since it can weaken or even kill its host over time. However, the toothpick fish isn't just a villain in the food chain. It plays an important role in the Amazonian river ecosystem, helping control populations of other species. As a parasite, it maintains the natural balance of an environment where every creature has its specific function. Can we see its contribution without letting scary stories cloud our judgment? The kangaroo is also a reminder of how rich and complex the Amazon ecosystems are, yet how vulnerable. Habitat destruction due to deforestation and pollution threatens many species, including the kangaroo itself. Perhaps it's time to look beyond legends and realize that even the most feared creatures play an essential role in maintaining biodiversity. Number 4, goblin shark. The goblin shark, or tubareo duende, is one of the most enigmatic and frightening creatures of the ocean depths. If the name is already scary, imagine meeting this shark with its jaw jutting out. It looks like something straight out of a nightmare. But relax, it's just living its life down there in the deep. With a long, flattened snout that juts forward and razor-sharp teeth like blades, it's a true living relic, often described as a walking fossil. But is its bizarre appearance its most interesting trait? This shark lives at depths of 200 to 1,300 meters, where sunlight cannot reach and conditions are extreme. Its pinkish-gray coloration results from its translucent skin, which allows blood vessels to be seen. This adaptation not only helps it blend into its dark surroundings, but also heightens its almost supernatural appearance. Can you imagine encountering something like that on a dive? The most striking aspect of the goblin shark is its extendable jaw. When it detects prey, its jaw literally shoots forward, capturing the victim at impressive speed. Combined with thin teeth curved backwards, this makes escape impossible. This lightning attack is so surprising that it seems ripped from a science fiction film. Though it's a formidable hunter, the goblin shark isn't an aggressive predator. It mainly feeds on small fish, crustaceans, and cephalopods found at great depths. Its hunting strategy is opportunistic, using its sensitive snout, filled with ampullae of Lorenzini, to detect the electric fields emitted by prey. In an environment where sight is almost useless, this skill is crucial for survival. The goblin shark is a rare species, found in specific areas such as Japan, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Western Atlantic Ocean. Its rarity, combined with its unique appearance, makes it an object of great interest to scientists and explorers. However, it also reminds us of how little we know about deep-sea ecosystems. How many other equally fascinating creatures remain hidden down there? Despite its terrifying appearance, the goblin shark is harmless to humans. It's yet more proof of how evolution can create highly specialized creatures to thrive in extreme environments. Might understanding more about these beings help us respect and preserve the oceans instead of fearing them? Number 3, lionfish. The lionfish is one of the most stunning creatures in the ocean. With its long, vibrant fins that resemble a lion's mane, it's a true work of aquatic art. But behind its mesmerizing beauty lies a voracious predator and one of the most problematic invasive species in marine habitats. Originally from the Indo-Pacific, the lionfish is known for its striking coloration, which ranges from red, orange, brown to white. Its stripes serve not only as a warning to predators, but also as camouflage in coral reefs. Imagine a fish that combines aesthetic allure with strategic skills. That's exactly what defines the lionfish. What truly grabs attention are its venomous spines. Arranged in its dorsal and pectoral fins, these spines contain a toxin that can cause intense pain, swelling, and even temporary paralysis in predators and occasionally in unsuspecting divers. Though the venom isn't lethal to humans, it's an extremely effective defense in the marine world. Who would have thought beauty could be so dangerous? Beyond this formidable defense, the lionfish is an implacable hunter. It feeds on small fish, crustaceans, and mollusks, using its expansive fins to corner prey before striking. Its voracious appetite and rapid reproduction rate make it a significant threat to ecosystems when introduced outside its native range. In the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean, where the lionfish was accidentally introduced, it became an invasive species with a devastating impact on coral reefs. With no natural predators in these regions, its population grew out of control, jeopardizing local biodiversity. Could it be an example of how human interference can unbalance even the most resilient ecosystems? Though it's a threat outside its natural habitat, the lionfish also represents an opportunity for awareness about marine conservation. Campaigns encouraging sustainable fishing of this species aim to control its population while highlighting the importance of preserving coral reefs. Could we turn an invader into a chance to restore the balance of the oceans? Number 2, viperfish. In the dark depths of the ocean, where pressure is crushing and sunlight never arrives, lives the viperfish, one of the most feared predators of these mysterious waters. With teeth that extend beyond its jaw, it looks like a creature straight out of a horror film. But this terrifying appearance is only one of the many amazing adaptations that make it so efficient in its extreme habitat. The viperfish can reach up to 60 centimeters in length, placing it in the medium-sized predator category. Its large head and disproportionate jaw are equipped with long, sharp teeth that can't fit inside its mouth. This peculiarity is crucial for capturing and holding on to prey in an environment where every meal might mean survival. Can you imagine living where the next meal could take days to show up? But the bizarre look isn't the viperfish's only tool. It also has bioluminescent organs along its body, emitting light to lure prey. These organs, called photophores, are especially useful in the dark depths, acting as luminous traps for unsuspecting fish. Isn't it fascinating how nature turns darkness into an ally? The viperfish is a nocturnal hunter. By day, it remains at depths of up to 4,500 meters, far from larger predators. But when night falls, it ascends to shallower waters, where marine life is more abundant. This behavior, known as the daily vertical migration, is a crucial strategy to maximize its chances of finding food while minimizing the risk of becoming prey itself. Despite its horrifying appearance, the viperfish has a relatively short lifespan, generally just a few years. This may relate to the extreme conditions in which it lives, where temperatures are icy and resources scarce. Even so, it plays a vital role in the ecosystem, helping control smaller fish populations and maintaining the balance of deep seafood chains. Encountering a viperfish is rare, even for scientists, Their occasional appearances in fishing nets or during deep-sea explorations remind us how the oceans still hold unfathomable secrets. If we could explore these regions more often, would we discover creatures even more impressive than the viperfish? Number 1. Axolotl. The axolotl, also known as the water monster, is one of the most fascinating and unique creatures in the animal kingdom. The axolotl always seems to be smiling and saying, "Chill out. I'm proof that it's possible to be different and incredible at the same time. Even though it isn't technically a fish, it deserves a spot on this list for its extraordinary characteristics and for defying the natural course of evolution." Native to lakes near Mexico City, the axolotl has such a peculiar appearance that it seems taken from an aquatic fairy tale. This amphibian is famous for its ability to remain in a larval state throughout its life, a phenomenon called neoteny. Unlike other amphibians that complete their metamorphosis, the axolotl retains juvenile traits like external gills, even in adulthood. This adaptation allows it to live permanently in water. Can you imagine what it would be like never to fully grow up, yet still thrive? Moreover, the axolotl has an almost supernatural power of regeneration. It can regrow lost limbs, repair vital organs, and even restore parts of its brain and spinal cord. This ability makes it the subject of intense scientific study, aiming to understand how its regeneration might be applied to human medical treatments. Could the secret to curing serious diseases be hidden in this tiny amphibian? The axolotl's behavior is also intriguing. It's a calm and solitary creature, usually active at night when it hunts small invertebrates and fish. Its permanent smile, due to the shape of its mouth, gives it a friendly look, winning admirers worldwide. This almost human expression may be one reason it's so beloved as a pet and cultural symbol. Unfortunately, in the wild, the axolotl is critically endangered due to pollution and urbanization that have destroyed much of its natural habitat. Today, it's found mostly in captivity, where it's bred for both conservation and scientific research. The irony is that while it thrives in labs and aquariums, its wild populations are disappearing. How can we ensure this natural wonder won't just be a memory in biology books? The axolotl is more than an exotic animal. It's a symbol of resilience and proof that evolution can follow unexpected paths. Its regenerative powers and unique appearance continue to fascinate scientists and nature lovers. Could it still hold more surprises hidden in its genetics? These 15 fish prove that the oceans and rivers are true vaults of living treasures, teeming with creatures so impressive that they defy imagination. Each carries a unique story of adaptation, survival, and beauty, showing how nature is creative and resilient, even in extreme environments. If you enjoyed this journey of discovery, don't forget to leave a like, share with your friends, and comment below on what caught your attention most. Who knows, others might also be enchanted by these aquatic wonders and spark a great conversation. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more content where curiosity knows no limits.